We're going to pause to talk about questions. Why questions? Which is a question in and of itself. Questions are the key to unlocking information, right? When you talk to another person and you ask them a question, you get information from that person. In fact, they feel acknowledged and respected when you ask them a question. Try it sometime. You'll notice a difference. If you haven't been asking questions to another person, they might actually feel disrespected. So try it, and you'll find out, wow, now we've got a conversation. Now it shows I'm curious about this person, that they might have information, they might have a story or some experience that I don't have, and I want to find out what it is. Because otherwise I'm just kind of locked in my own world, right? Well, I bring that up because AI is kind of the same. In fact, it's real similar. What I mean by that is, okay, AI is static. It's still, it's motionless. We don't know what it's doing really when we're not communicating with it in these various chat environments like ChatGPT. We don't know. Agentic AI may take that to the next level where now it's prompting itself, but I still believe you have to put the whole system into motion. It hasn't gotten to the point yet where it's become kind of self-aware, self-curious, at least not to my knowledge. There could be things that are not being talked about where this is happening, but I think it will happen. But even then, okay, the real driver of all this is the human, is you and your curiosity and imagination. So, what I mean by this is you sit there, you're at your computer, you're talking into your phone like I'm doing now, and you're curious about something. And then you pause, and you think, you know what, I'm going to ask. But if you ask Google, right, you're going to get those listings. We talked about that in the last episode, which, by the way, was yesterday for me. I don't know what it is for you. And so you just get listings on Google, and if you have Google connected to ChatGPT like I do, you will get a response up at the top. But if you save your best questions of all time and your best prompts of all time, because you don't want to lose that thought, now you have real access to all kinds of information. What do I mean by that is, well, for example, you can pull out of this, go meta, as they say, and even ask the AI system for a list of questions on a certain topic, or do a meta prompt like, what is the best way to write a prompt to gain information about whatever this is? Okay, so you can go meta on that. The analogy that I use, it's real similar to baseball. Okay, in baseball, the defense, believe it or not, starts the action. Pitcher standing there. I mean, you don't see this in any other sport, by the way. It's kind of weird when you think about it. But the game doesn't go anywhere. You got all these players out in the field. They're waiting. You have teams in the dugout. You have people in the stands. But nothing happens until that pitcher throws the pitch. And when he throws the pitch, or she throws the pitch, if it's a women's league, okay, whoever throws that pitch, that starts the action. And then, of course, when the player hits the ball, now you've got all kinds of things going into action. So, I guess I want you to picture running the bases, creating that kind of action. And to do that, and if you're following along in this analogy, you write a really profound question. Okay, so this can work for humans talking to each other, asking questions. I think the better, it's weird to even say this, but the better the question, the more acknowledgement and respect, which is weird to say, it shows for AI. And I don't even know if it's proper to use that term, but the result will be better, if it's a deeper, more profound question. So, think about this in terms of learning, though, too, that, we consider education to be providing answers for everything. Like you go in and take a test. Nobody's Nobody wants to know your level of imagination or curiosity. They typically want to know, can you repeat back the content and information that was provided in this unit of instruction, whatever that was. Which is strange because it still relies a lot on memorization. And now that we have all these tools in our hand, our screens of all types, computers of all types, we don't really need rote memorization. But let me ask you this. What do you think shows greater understanding? The ability to form a question about something, or the ability to remember something, to remember information? And I think, if you can ask a question on a topic, that means you understand it. And I'll give an example that comes to mind. One time I met a Berkeley PhD mathematician. I believe he was a professor. And he was working on a concept called square zero. And when I met him through a friend, we sat in this cafe, and he explained the concept to me about zero first and what that meant and the history of the concept, but then the concept of squaring zero. It was kind of a mathematical system based on like boxes inside of other boxes, and it kind of got rid of the number system, and you could do addition, subtraction, multiplication using different varieties of these squares. And by the way, I don't even know if that's correct. So we got to the end of the conversation, and there was like this pause because I could not think of a question. And that meant that I didn't understand what he was saying. So, okay, what this all means is I want you to think about that when you sit down to work with AI. Okay, let me know how it goes in the comments, if this changed your way of thinking, if this changed your approach at all to how you work with AI. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.